Cameras what? Oh, hey. Yeah, I guess you caught me. Hey there, everybody. I was hoping to get these up before we got started. This is about Hanukkah, and for me, more than anything else, it's about the lights and the celebration, so the decorations gotta be up. Hi, everyone. My name is Joe DeCenzo, and you're probably sitting there at home wondering, what's this little Italian guy telling us about Hanukkah for? Well, here's my story. When I was very young, I remember being at home watching The Godfather, and my mother walked in the room, and she said, "What are you watching that for?" And I said, "Well, hey, they're Italian. Our last name's DeCenzo. It's our story." And she said, "No, actually, you're Jewish." And I said, well, what do you mean we're Jewish? And she said, "Because you are what your mother is." And I said, well, why is it like that? And she looked at me over her eyebrows and she said, "Because you know who your mother is." And then she abruptly walked out of the room. I was all, "What are you saying, Ma?" And then she assured me that there was no question about my parentage. It's just that in the Jewish culture, your heritage is traced through your mother's side. And so I'm Jewish because my mom's ancestors are Litvaks. They came from Lithuania. It's that country just east of Poland, in between Russia and Poland. And so as I grew up, I began to gravitate toward the Jewish culture. I was never very religious. I was intrigued by the story of a race of people who endured many hardships and spent many generations roaming the desert until they could find a homeland to call their own. But I really gravitated toward the humor. I found the Jewish people to be very funny. And I guess you got to have a good sense of humor if you've had to endure some of the things they've had to. If you've ever had a Yiddish grandmother, you might understand what I mean. So anyway, I've lived up here in Sunland-Tujunga more than 20 years, and it was about 5 years ago, a very smart young lady helped me realize there hasn't been a synagogue in our general area for decades, and it might be a good idea if we had just an annual gathering where we could just at least light the menorah, make us feel a little more like a family, a little more mishpacha. And I thought that would be a terrific idea. And so we established Hanukkah in the Foothills. And this year we're doing it online because we're unable to get together. But if you were lucky enough and you picked up one of these, this what we call the Hanukkah in the Foothills Participation Kit, it's filled with some treasures. There's a recipe for matzo ball and a dreidel and some gelt. And anyway, it'll make you feel like we're a little bit more together because the people who are going to be in the upcoming segments, they'll prompt you when to pull the articles out of this box. But right now, I want to throw it to the woman whose idea this all was from the beginning. Won't you take it from here, Lucy Lee?
Hey everyone in the Foothills Community, it's Lucy Lee, and thank you so much again for joining us this year for Hanukkah in the Foothills 2020. It's very different than the years past, but I'm glad we could find a way to still kind of be together for this really special holiday. It has been such a joy to bring Hanukkah in the Foothills to our community and watch it grow every single year, and we really look forward to the years ahead where we can all join together in person. Till then, please stay safe. Happy Hanukkah.
Terrific, Lucy. But we're not letting you off that easily. You and your sister Anya are terrific singers. How about starting us off with a song?
This is a song that Anya and I grew up singing, and we wanted to share it with you. Hanukkah, Hanukkah, festival of lights. Candles glow in a row, 7 days, 8 nights. Hanukkah, Hanukkah, let your dreidel spin. Round and round, round and round, everyone join in. Hanukkah, Hanukkah, festival of lights. Candles glow in a row, 7 days, 8 nights. Hanukkah, Hanukkah, let your dreidel spin. Round and round, round and round, everyone join in. Thank you so much.
Hag Sameach.
Be safe. Take care.
Yeah, I was trying to play it safe here until this Garland started playing games with me. Hey, Anya, won't you lead us in a game that's a lot safer to play?
Hey, Anya here, and we are in the kitchen, ready to play Dreidel. Are you? Go ahead and grab out your instruction sheet for the Dreidel game. Grab your dreidels and your gelt. Gelt can be anything, from beans to candy to coins, though I would suggest washing those coins first. Everybody have their gelt in front of them? We start with 10. I suggest you starting with 10, and then once you get the hang of it, go ahead and add in some more. Everybody got their dreidels? All right.
Yes!
Now go ahead, grab your dreidel out, and let's get familiar with the dreidel. Nun, if your dreidel spins and drops on nun, that means nothing happens.
None.
Nothing happens. Now, if it's ending on gimel, that means you get everything in the pot. So go ahead, let's start by everybody go ahead and put one into the pot. The center is what we call the pot. There you go. If you got none, nothing would happen. If you got gimel, whoever has it would take the whole thing. Now, the next one is hay. Now here we've got hay means half. Well, we've got 3 here. You go ahead and you take the lesser half. So half of it would be 1 bean. If you have 4 beans, it would be 2. Now the last one is shin. Shin is this little one here that looks kind of like a W. There you go. And shin means you put some in. So go ahead and put one of these in. There you go, guys. Put one in.
But you
Now,
don't want mine.
You can go ahead and put one in. Now, the rules vary from family to family, tradition to tradition. So go ahead, and if you want to change your rules just a little bit, make sure everybody's on the same level, and then have fun with it. All right, guys, grab your dreidels. Everybody's going to take a turn right now. Benny, you go first. Ready? Gimel! Oh my gosh, Benny, go ahead, grab them all. Grab them all, Benny. Now let's put another one in. How about this time instead of 1, everybody let's put in 2. Yeah? Does that work?
Yeah.
All right, everybody put in 2. If everybody puts in 2, then half will be exact.
4.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, spin. Good job. Arya also got gimel.
Whoa.
Everybody put 2 more in. Do we want to do 2 or do we want to do 3 this time?
3.
Let's do 3.
I only got 4 left.
All right.
Now.
Well, you're going all in, Zoe. Zoe, it's your turn.
Wait. Benny, did you put too much? Oh, you did.
Gimel!
I get the one!
This is the luckiest crew ever!
I
Well, we're having a great time.
One.
I hope you do too.
Well, 2.
Everybody say Happy Hanukkah!
Happy Hanukkah!
Happy
Well, that was awesome fun, Anya. Thanks. But who are these gorgeous kids you're with? Shayna, put them. They look like they're right out of Central Casting.
Thanks, Joe. I'm Anya. This is my sister Lucy Lee, my daughter Arya, my niece Zoe, and my nephew Benny, and we're going to lead you in a little sing-along.
Pull out your Hanukkah participation kit, and inside should be some lyrics for you. And take it out, and you can sing along. If you didn't get any, go look at the Facebook at Hanukkah in the Foothills, and you will find the lyrics right there.
All right, we'll give you just another second to grab those. You ready, guys? I have a little dreidel, I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. Oh dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. It has a lovely body with legs so short and thin, and when my dreidel's tired, it drops and then I win. Oh dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. My dreidel's always playful, it loves to dance and spin. A happy game of dreidel, come play now, let's begin. Oh dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. Good job, everybody.
That was great, but I was really too busy chowing on Karen von Gunten's matzo ball soup to sing. Karen, this is wonderful. You gotta show us how.
Thanks, Joe. That does look yummy. Hello and happy Hanukkah, everybody. I'm so happy to be part of today's celebration. I love this time of year. It's about family and memories, honoring old traditions while creating new ones and spending time with the people who mean the most to you. Yes, this year has been challenging as many of us aren't with people we love. So to honor them, let's make something special by cooking the best matzo ball soup ever. And to help you make this delicious soup, I'll be sharing with you 2 shortcuts and 1 secret to ensure your matzo balls float and impress all your relatives, even your Aunt Rose. That's 2 shortcuts and 1 secret. So let's get cooking. There is a recipe inside your Hanukkah participation box to make great matzo balls and soup. Let's start with the broth. Here are the ingredients to make a wonderful chicken broth. While this may look like a lot of ingredients to some of you, it's a fairly straightforward recipe. And like all soups, be sure to make this broth at least the day before you serve it. That allows the flavors to meld together. Something magic happens there too. Yummy! I can't take the time here to show you all the steps, but your broth will be awesome. And while I like to make everything from scratch, sometimes we don't have the time or the inclination. So I'll share my very first shortcut with you, which I learned from my mother. I know, it's not authentic chicken soup because there aren't any vegetables or chicken in there, but just wait. For those of you in a hurry or just want a quick broth for your matzo balls, this is totally workable. Of course, you can always take carrots, slice them, cook a little to make your broth more flavorful, but it totally works as is. Shh, who's gonna tell? Next, let's make the star of this recipe, your matzo balls. This recipe is also in your Hanukkah box and the ingredients are easy to find at the store. But not so fast, there's secret lore here. Once you've mixed all the ingredients, the mixture has to rest in your fridge for 20 to 30 minutes. Again, due to time, I can't show you all those steps. But here's my second shortcut. Use matzo ball mix. It's just as good as your matzo balls from scratch and a huge time saver. Like the homemade recipe, you're still gonna need eggs, oil, and water, but that's it. Now refrigerate this mixture for 15 minutes. Voila! It's faster and just as flavorful. Next, here's how we're gonna put it all together. Finally, the secret I told you, which will make these the fluffiest matzo balls ever. My grandma Dora shared this secret with me when I was a little girl, and making these honors her memory. Here's how to make matzo balls that my husband says are so light, they might rise out of the bowl and float around the room. Let me demonstrate that secret for you. First, make sure your broth is lightly boiling. You can use your homemade broth or the chicken broth from the carton, but please don't use water, as your matzo balls will absorb the wonderful chicken flavor. Now, you've just taken your matzo balls out of the fridge, and this is how much you use. I take one of my scoops, put it in your hand, and the trick is to cup it. You're not trying to make this into a snowball or a meatball. You're not pressing it so it becomes hard. You touch it 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and lightly drop it in. Next, I'll show you again. It's about as much as I use. 1, 2, 3, drop. Now, it does require a little practice, but in no time you too can make the fluffiest matzo balls ever. Now remember, these are going to get much bigger as they absorb the liquid. So simmer these for 20 minutes, and in 20 minutes you will have the most wonderful fluffy matzo balls ever. Here is a wonderful bowl of matzo ball soup that you and your family will love. Remember, it's our job to keep forwarding the tradition of Hanukkah. If not us, then who? Happy Hanukkah, everybody!
I'm thrilled to introduce Pamela Shea. She's the former poet laureate of Sunland-Tujunga. She served from 2017 until this year, 2020. And as soon as we're allowed back into the McGroarty Arts Center, we're going to have a gala celebration where she will pass the laurel crown to the new laureate, Alice Perot. She's a dear friend and fellow Dodger fan.
Go blue!
Yes, Pam. Yeah, it's Hanukkah. Everything's blue. It's time for a contemplative moment. Please welcome Pamela Shea.
Thank you, Joe. I'll be reading a poem I wrote specific for today's occasion entitled Hanukkah 2020. New days, new ways of doing things, yet tradition carries on. We sing our songs, light menorahs, keeping ritual alive. We strive for peace and harmony in our topsy-turvy world. As boys and girls and adults too, remember deep in our hearts. Dreidels spin, all of us win in exchanging of gifts. Blessings uplift, we eat great food as our prayers ascend above. Love glows and lights, oh, what a sight. We read from our sacred books. Look into eyes and to the skies, celebrating all we share.
Rabbi Janet Bieber has served the Jewish community for more than 40 years as both a rabbi and a cantor. She is a classically trained singer who once sang with Aretha Franklin at the Hollywood Bowl. She's accompanied tonight by Vicki Sampson, who's a guitarist and a feature film sound editor who has worked on such films as The Return of the Jedi and Pirates of the Caribbean. This is Rabbi Janet and Vicki's 4th year joyfully participating in our celebration of Hanukkah in the Foothills.
Happy Hanukkah. I'm Rabbi Janet Bieber, and this is Vicki Sampson. We're going to sing Ocho Candelicas, a song in Ladino, which is medieval Spanish and Hebrew. Hanukkah linda está aquí, ocho candelas para mí. Hanukkah linda está aquí, ocho candelas para mí. Uno candelica, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelicas para mí. Muchas fiestas vou fazer com alegria e prazer. Muchas fiestas vou placer com alegrias e prazer. Oh, uno candelica, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelicas para mí.
Happy Hanukkah for Santa's birthday!
Shalom, it's Rabbi David Baron wishing all of my friends in Tujunga a happy and healthy Hanukkah. I remember very fondly my 6 years as rabbi at the Verdugo Hills Hebrew Center on Tujunga Canyon Boulevard, where we had some wonderful connections with a lot of great families, including the Diamonds and Phil Blazer, as well as many, many others. One of the members of my congregation actually grew up there, Steve Leibowitz, and his parents were members of that synagogue. And even though I've moved from Verdugo Hills to Beverly Hills, I want you to know that I remember very fondly those intimate and warm days with a fantastic group of people and congregation there. And I'm sending my wishes to all of you for a happy, light-filled Hanukkah, and make sure that you watch the menorah till it extinguishes so it doesn't start any interior fires. and we hope the light of Hanukkah will be in your hearts and in your minds this year. One of the things I was going to mention about the synagogue is that when I was here in Beverly Hills, I had made an illegal U-turn, and a police officer pulled me over, a Beverly Hills cop. And he looked inside the window and he said, "Rabbi Baron, you're the rabbi at my dad's shul, the Verdugo Hills Hebrew Center in Tujunga." I said, "Yes, that's correct." He said, "I can't give you a ticket," and he let me off with a warning. So the synagogue gave me a free pass one time, and it's remembered and very much appreciated. Happy Hanukkah, everyone.
I'm standing in front of this model of the Space Shuttle Columbia to describe how Hanukkah is not only celebrated worldwide, but also in low Earth orbit. MIT professor and former NASA astronaut Jeffrey Hoffman flew 5 space shuttle missions, including the one that first serviced the nearsighted Hubble Space Telescope. On one particular mission, he took a very special object with him. Let's see how that turned out.
In Endeavor, Houston, for Jeff, all of America would like to know what you've got and what you're doing with it.
Well, this is the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah, and there's various ways that we celebrate it. And one of the games that we play is a little game with a dreidel, and it's something that you spin, and then you see which side comes up, and according to that, you either win or lose. And I was just trying to see how you might reinterpret the rules for spaceflight, since there's no up or down.
So cool, I want to do that. Dr. Hoffman is actually friends with our production editor, Craig Durst, and he personally gave us permission to use that in our video.
Hi, I'm Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez, and on this night of Hanukkah, I want to wish you and your family the very best of the holiday season. I know it's challenging that we are unable to celebrate in person, but I want to thank the organizing committee for doing such an outstanding job of making sure that we could still honor this tradition and hold this event virtually. I look forward to having an opportunity for us to resume these celebrations in person, and I look forward to having all of you at the newly renovated North Valley City Hall when that's complete. Remember that my office remains available to help you and your family during these difficult times. And my very best to you all, wishing you good health and wishing you that the Festival of Lights will shine brightly during these dark days for you, your family, and our community. Be well.
I'm standing in front of historic Bolton Hall Museum to introduce our next guest. Franny McCartney is the consummate chanteuse. Each year, she and other members of the Randy Van Horn Singers provide us a joyous musical holiday feast inside the museum. Now, we'll have to wait another year for us to join together once again inside this beloved hall, but we're so grateful to have her with us now. Franny, how's it going?
Okay. Hi out there, everybody. Happy Hanukkah. I'm so glad to be here. And shout out to Hanukkah in the Foothills, which we love up here in our Sunland-Tujunga community. This is a wonderful song, and it's all about Hanukkah, and especially Hanukkah in Santa Monica. I kind of wish it was Hanukkah in Sunland-Tujunga, but Hanukkah doesn't rhyme with Sunland-Tujunga, so we're going to Santa Monica for Hanukkah. Now, in this tune, there are some terms that you might not be familiar with, so I thought I would do a Hanukkah 101. So first, it mentions another holiday called Shavuos. Now, Shavuos is the commemoration of receiving of the 10 Commandments, which we all love the 10 Commandments. I mean, hey, our whole country is built on the foundation of the incredible 10 Commandments. They say there were 15 and then Moses dropped one of the tablets. No, just kidding. Just kidding. So anyway, that's Shavuos. Now, Purim is a holiday celebrating an heroic woman, Queen Esther, who saved all the Jewish people. So it's really wonderful to have a holiday about a woman. Yay! It's always a fun one, Purim, and it's in the spring. Now, Rosh Hashanah is the head of the year, which is the new year. We're like 57 something or other this year. We've been here a long time. So Rosh Hashanah is the beginning of the new year, and then you get 9 to 10 days to reflect and to make amends for the past and to meditate on how wonderful you're going to be in the future. And then Yom Kippur comes on that day, you cleanse, and then the next day you begin sinning again. No, just well, I'm having a good time. I hope you are out there. So, and then there's a menorah, which is the candelabra for Hanukkah, and there is the dreidel, which is the spinning top that you can play games with children, or it's also a gambling games, and that's the dreidel. Anyway, I'm going to now do this wonderful song, Hanukkah in Santa Monica by Tom Lehrer. Hello, Hokie. I'm spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica, wearing sandals, lighting candles by the sea. I spent Shavuos in East St. Louis, a charming spot, but clearly not the spot for me. Those eastern winters, I can't endure 'em. So every year I pack my gear and come out here till Purim. Rosh Hashanah, I spend in Arizona. And Yom Kippur, way down in Mississippi. But in December, there's just one place for me. Amid the California flora, I'll be lighting my menorah. Like a baby in a cradle, I'll be playing with my dreidel. Here's to Judah Maccabeus, if he could only see us spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica by the sea. Oy vey.
You're very funny, Franny. Oy vey is right with this year. One of the greatest disappointments was having to cancel the 4th of July parade. For more than 50 years, it's been the annual event that draws the neighbors together to line Foothill Boulevard where we stand as a community. Congressman Adam Schiff is a regular participant in the parade, and while we missed seeing him in July, we are so grateful that he's here with us now. Hello, Congressman Schiff. Wishing you and your family a very blessed holiday. Thanks for joining us.
It's good to be with you, Joe. I'm Congressman Adam Schiff, and I proudly represent California's 28th Congressional District, which includes the foothill communities of Sunland-Tujunga and Shadow Hills. Today, I'm pleased to join the Hanukkah in the Foothills Committee, the Sunland-Tujunga Shadow Hills Rotary Club, and the entire community in celebration of Hanukkah. Hanukkah has a special meaning for me and my family, and as we share our light and joy together with celebrations and abundant gratitude for our many blessings, we recognize that 2020 has definitely been a challenging year for all of us. But we made it through thanks to great support from our community. We can celebrate a year where we got to know each other, our neighbors, a bit better because so many of us were home, and we got to appreciate our essential workers all the more at seeing their courage and devotion. We've become seasoned experts on virtual meetings, virtual school, virtual services, and celebrating birthdays and holidays together on screen, but apart in person. We've proven to ourselves how resilient we are in the face of incredible and previously unimaginable challenges. And what better occasion to celebrate our resilience than Hanukkah, a holiday centered on a story of resilience and perseverance. Let us remember those in need and extend a helping hand to all who need it. Wishing you all a very joyous and a very healthy Hanukkah. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Schiff. That was a beautiful sentiment. Okay, grab your Snuggie or your weighted blanket and get cozy, because now is the time for the telling of the story of Hanukkah. It happened many, many years ago, long before the internet even, in the land of Jerusalem, where modern-day Israel is now, in a place called Temple Mount, one of the holiest places on earth. 3,000 years ago, King Solomon built a spectacular temple there, and it became the home of the Ark of the Covenant and the Ten Commandments. But because of conflicts and battles through the years, the Ark was stolen and the temple destroyed. But the temple was rebuilt, and it became known as the era of the Second Temple. And this is where our story begins. It was the 2nd century BCE, and the Jews were fairly content living in Judea under Greek-Syrian rule. That is until Antiochus IV. This guy, he levied heavy taxes on the Jews to raise money for his empire. And when they revolted, he sent his armies in to massacre the uprising. He then outlawed all their religious practices, and anyone who did not cooperate paid for it with their life. He then desecrated the holy Second Temple by bringing in altars to Greek gods. He erected an enormous statue of Zeus, and he even began sacrificing pigs inside the sacred walls. It was an abomination. One day his henchmen, or rather his soldiers, they approached a very revered and respected priest. His name was Mattathias Maccabee. And they demanded that he perform a sacrifice right there in the marketplace. This was an affront to his faith, and Mattathias refused, and the soldiers began to anger. And in order to calm the situation, another Jew who was more sympathetic to the Greek culture, he volunteered to perform the sacrifice. Well, in a blind fit of rage, Mattathias grabbed the man's sword and he slayed him there, right there in the marketplace. And the other Jews who were witnessing, they drove out the remaining soldiers. Well, they knew that once Antiochus finds out about this, that he was going to be furious, and he was going to send troops in and they would be punished, so they needed to flee. They fled to the neighboring hills long enough so that they could raise an army of their own, a legion of Jews who were dedicated and who were courageous and willing to fight with them in this revolt. Well, they won battle after battle through their tactics, and history even counts one particular battle where they were able to defeat an army of 40,000 Syrian troops. I mean, this was remarkable. They were the strongest army on earth at that time, and somehow they were able to defeat them. But these battles continued for years, and Mattathias knew that his time was short. So he gathered his sons and he made them promise that they would continue this fight after he was gone. And the 5 Maccabee brothers united, and they joined together under the leadership of Judah Maccabee, Judah who was known as Judah the Hammer. And they continued to fight the Syrian army until they were vanquished, and they could then liberate the city of Jerusalem and take back the temple once again for their own. But by this time, it had been vandalized and desecrated. They needed to cleanse it of the blood. They needed to get rid of the statue of Zeus and the other idols. And of course, they needed to light the menorah in a dedication service. That's what Hanukkah means. It means dedication. But they could only find 1 cruse of the purified oil that they needed, probably enough to burn for 1 day. So they put it in the menorah, and the flame was lit. And miraculously, the flame continued to burn. It continued to flicker for 8 days. They looked at it as a miracle. It was a sign that God had once again taken his people under his protection. It was 139 BCE, or that's 3622 for those of you still in the Jewish calendar. And it was the first night of Hanukkah. Apart from being a distinguished writer, Alice Perot is an accomplished flautist and teacher. And just earlier this year, she was elected Sunland-Tujunga Poet Laureate. And Alice, I promise you, as soon as this is all over, we're going to throw you a ceremony worthy of your talents. We're so grateful you could join us tonight. Please welcome Alice Perot.
Here's a poem I wrote just for Hanukkah and for this video. Moments of light through flickering candles, our love will not go out. Moments of joy, children running and scuffling through the leaves, sun peeking through clouds. Moments of faith cannot be erased, fires glowing. Moments made in colors, families gathering for special meals. These sacred moments of celebration flowing from our open eyes and heart, cups filled and refilled, brilliant times remembered, ancient legends made new.
I'm standing in front of the McCartney Arts Center. I really miss their chili bowl and holiday craft fair this year. But I'm here to introduce Dawn Jenkins. She's formerly their community relations chair, and she currently represents them at the monthly Stark Committee meetings. She is the president of Toastmasters for Writers. She is also the Toastmasters District 52 Pathways chair. She is a shining example of what it can do for your poise and public presentation. Dawn, how are you and the family getting along?
Joe, my family's doing well. Seeing you there at McCartney Arts Center reminds me of our Hanukkah in the Foothills event in 2017. What a huge event that was. This year will be our first virtual event. And we are welcoming the Berman family today to do our raffle drawing for our door prize. Today we have...
Hi, I'm Lucy Lee.
And I'm Zoe.
Nice to see you.
Hi.
Excellent. These are for 3 gift certificates for $25 each for Joselito's restaurant in Tujunga. So Zoe, reach into the bottle and pull out the first winner.
Gonna shake them up nice. Oh, look. Okay, so ticket number 1 is, do you want to say the number?
8844187.
That was 8844187.
Excellent. Congratulations to the winner. Zoe, pull another one.
Wait. Hey, who do we have? Number
8843989.
That was 8843989.
Excellent. Congratulations to our second winner. Now let's pull our last winner out of the bottle.
8843974.
That was 8843974. Yay!
Congratulations and thank you, Zoe and Lucy Lee Berman, for bringing joy to some of our Hanukkah in the Foothills participants.
Happy Hanukkah, everybody!
Happy Hanukkah! Now we're going to share a photo of the 3 winning tickets to give you a chance to check to see if you've won. Winners should snap a photo of the winning ticket and email it to hanukkahitf@gmail.com. Don't forget to include your preferred email address so we can send you your $25 gift card to Joselito's.
Hi everybody, congratulations to all the winners. Happy Hanukkah from Joselito's in Tujunga.
Happy Hanukkah to all of you from us here at Temple Beth Emet of Burbank, to our friends in the Foothills. Hanukkah has 2 names. One, the Festival of Lights. The other one, a time of rededication. So what does it teach us? What it teaches us is, we know, we're all going to light the menorah. We're all going to remember the oil lasting for 8 days. and we're all going to remember the miracle of Hanukkah. But perhaps the miracle of Hanukkah is that common people stood up for what they believed in. They believed in our people, they believed in our culture, they believed in the future. The prayer that we say that first night is called, in the vernacular, Shechianu. And the words are, Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Shechianu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu la'azman hazeh. And it means, thank you God for giving us life, allowing us to grow, and to arrive at this happy occasion. This year of all years, when we say the Shechianu, we're thinking about how much to be appreciative of God giving us life. For the struggle for freedom, religious freedom, on the part of the Maccabees, is the first recorded struggle for religious freedom in the world. Happy Hanukkah. Chag Hanukkah Sameach. From us at Temple Beth Emet of Burbank, myself, Rabbi Mark, to all of you in the foothills. And may this be the beginning of the new time of enlightenment. And let us say Amen.
Well, it's getting to be that time. We need to disinfect the Hanukkah. Get it all nice and sanitized, then we can schlep it down to New Hope Community Church, get with our friends, and light this thing up. Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us for this celebration of light. We are standing here in New Hope Community Church in Sunland. They were our hosts last year for Hanukkah in the foothills, and they will be our host again as soon as this is over and we can all unite once again. Tonight, we are lighting the menorah. That's right, I call it the menorah, but that is any candelabrum that is used in a temple service. Usually, a menorah has 7 placeholders for candles. But because this menorah has placeholders for 9 candles, it is more specifically known as the Hanukkah. We will be lighting the Hanukkah. Hanukkah is an 8-day celebration, and each night we add 1 more candle during the course of the celebration. If you began watching this program at 4 p.m. where you are, it is very close to sundown now, which is the traditional time for the lighting of the Hanukkah. If this were the first night of Hanukkah, we would place 1 candle here in the far right, and then each night we would add a successive candle to the left. And you'll notice there's 1 candle that's poised a little bit higher. This is known as the shamash. The shamash is the attendant or helper candle that we use to then light all the other candles in the Hanukkah. So, what I'm going to do is ask for someone to help me. Lucy, you're standing right there. That's what we're praying. If you hold the shamash for me, I'm going to now reference the Hanukkah in a box. Some of you were fortunate enough to pick up a Hanukkah in the bits. By Hanukkah in a box participation kit, very good. And inside, you'll notice there is one of these. There's a tea light, okay? I want you to take your tea lights out now at this time. For tonight, this tea light symbolizes the shamash. As I light the shamash, I want you to click your tea light on. We are now connected for this ceremony. We will say 2 prayers this evening during the lighting because it is the 4th night of Hanukkah. If this were the first night, there would be an additional 3rd prayer that honors our God who has given us life, sustains us, and enabled us to be here at this season. But because it is the 4th night, we will do 2 prayers. We first light the shamash. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushnu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Hanukkah, which translated means, "Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who has made us holy through your commandments and commanded us to kindle the Hanukkah lights." We now take the shamash and light the candles of the Hanukkah while reciting the second prayer. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim l'avoteinu, bayazni ahem, bayazman hazeh, which translated means, "Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who has performed wondrous miracles for our ancestors during this time, at this time of year." Thank you. We now take a moment and ingest the light. Let it warm and swell your spirit while remembering the blessings and the miracle and honoring the devotion of our ancestors. Chag Sameach! Happy Hanukkah!
Happy Hanukkah!
Yay! Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. But please, I tell you, yay! Come over there. I know from a 6-foot distance, no celebration would be complete without the customary dance of the Hora! So I want to introduce Lucy and Anya, bring them up to teach us how.
Let's learn to dance the hora. We're going to start with our right foot. Everybody pick up your right foot and step out to the side. Then you're going to take your left foot, tuck it behind. There we go. Put your right foot to the outside again, and now we're going to take your left foot and put it in front. Good, amazing. Go back. All right, we're going to do it again. Here we go. Take it right to the back. Whoop! Sorry, I smashed your foot. Careful, your neighbors. Take your right foot out again. And now put the left foot in front. Now we're going to go all the way to the side. We're going to do it smaller. Everybody's going to put it together. We're going to do 2 times today. Ready? Right, back, right, front. Right, back, right, front. Want to try it again? 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, back, right, front, right, back, right, front. Did you guys get it?
I was there. I didn't touch it.
Let's try it again. Let's try it again.
Didn't end up in my lap.
5, 6, 7, 8. Right, back, right, front. Right, back, right, front. Now grab the hands of everyone in your own household. We're going to put it together in a circle. Go back, grab Auntie and Lucy's hands. All right, we're going to put it together, starting with your right foot. Let's do it slow. Right, back, right, front. Back, and front, and back, and front. Good job, guys. This is amazing. Now lead it faster. Oh my gosh, can you go faster? Can you go faster? All right, now here's something super cool. When it feels good, go on in. And come on up. And go on in. And come on up. And go on in. Let go and turn around. Woo! Yay! Good job, guys. And now let's all watch some Hava Nagila dancing from years past.
going to lead you in Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, and if you turn over your lyric sheet, you'll find it right there. So please join us and sing along.
Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Dreidel to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago.
Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, a Yom Tov, a schöner, a lustiger, a freilicher, nicht noch a säuner. Alle Nacht in Dreidel spielen wir, so die Käse Latkes, es und a schier Geschwinder sind Kinder. Oi Hanukkah, Lichtelechon, singt Al-Hanissim und Lot auf Gartinissim und kommt dicher tanzen in Korn. Singt Al-Hanissim und Leut Gott Fardinissim und kommt dicher tanzen in Korn.
Thank you and have a happy Hanukkah. Chag Sameach.
Shalom, everyone. Pastor Eddie Ledesma here at New Hope Community Church. We are so excited to be partnering with Hanukkah in the Foothills. So we as a local church here in Sunland-Tujunga are so excited to be partnering with this awesome event as we partner with people that are overcoming all kinds of adversity in our nation and in our world. And Hanukkah has so much meaning for the Jewish community, Christians, and believers of many different religions. We unite together with this amazing miracle, overcoming adversity. We've been overcoming a lot in 2020 as a nation, as a people, as a world, and we turn to God now for this miracle of overcoming. So happy Hanukkah, everyone, and it's so glad that you guys are here. Enjoy the ceremony today.
Hanukkah!